Hello there, welcome back to another video on my channel, and today we're going to be ranking 8 Star Wars series from the worst to best. So this is my personal ranking, and just say we're not going to be including Tales of a Jedi. Well, just because there's only 6 episodes and they're always kind of like Origins, right? They're all kind of like really small stories. I will however say that Count Dooku was the goat of this show, no questions asked. Not going to be including Resistance because I haven't watched it, and I honestly could not be bothered to watch it. It's sequel stuff. Nah, I'm not doing that. Visions, well, firstly because I haven't watched it, and second because it's not non-canon. Fair. 8th place is Book of Boba Fett. It's just like in dead last, just because I found this show to be quite boring and quite frankly a waste of my valuable time. The first 4 episodes were just a drag to go through. Boba Fett's character here wasn't really that interesting. Kind of takes over as the ruler of Tatooine with Jabba dead. It kind of explains his origins, how he survived that Sarlacc beast from Return of the Jedi. And I thought the best episode here was episode 5. We got kind of like some Luke Skywalker, Grogu, Ahsoka, Mando stuff, which was pretty cool. Even then it still wasn't top tier for sure. It was kind of like Mandalorian, season 2.5. Yeah. And we got Cad Bane at the end, and it was kind of cool seeing Cad Bane, but he looks kind of weird in live action. Yeah. Overall, this was just such a letdown. Not really the one kind of show I really recommend. 7th place is Obi-Wan Kenobi, and my oh my, what a disappointment we have right here. This show had a lot of potential, given that Obi-Wan Kenobi is top 5 Star Wars character, and Ewan McGregor is great in the role. We even get Hayden Christensen against Darth Vader, and also Darth Vader is the best part. Little Leia's annoying. We get a bunch of like Inquisitor kind of plots for like Reva, who's just like her character just feels so kind of forced in. And it was cool seeing them fight a bit, but it still wasn't top tier at all. It kind of feels like Disney kind of owns the lightsaber duels now, and you know, there's 2 times in this show where there were lightsaber, where 2 people survived lightsaber wounds. They weren't fatal. Damn, dear me. Obi-Wan was okay, but I feel like they should have focused on Obi-Wan more than like these other characters, like the Inquisitors and all those people. Yeah. Number 6 is The Bad Batch, and honestly, this show could potentially rise up with season 3. We're only into 5 episodes of season 3. Only 5 are out yet. 5 out of 16 are out yet. And I've got to say, season 3 does seem to be better than season 1 and 2 so far. It just works as you kind of have like like a family, right? We have The Bad Batch. The villains are pretty solid. I think Crosshair is actually one of the more interesting characters in this show. Omega, I don't know. And like the clones, they're not my favourite clones, that's for sure. But they still kind of serve a purpose. And it kind of like comes after the events of Clone Wars in the whole story, right? That's kind of where it all kind of links up and all. And it kind of explores like how the clones, how they took away the free will of the clones. And the clones are only there for a short period of time as stormtroopers. Eventually they will be replaced. And yeah, I will say that one of my main issues with this series is that season 2, they didn't really do anything with the second season, right? All the episodes just felt like kind of like nuisances that, like, you know, that don't really make much of an impact on the whole Star Wars universe as a whole. Some of my main points of concern. Season 1 had some good ones, some not so good ones, and some of the characters like we don't like Sid. 5th place is Ahsoka. Another show that was quite disappointing, but I still like it. I think there's quite a bit of a gap between that and Bad Batch. This is kind of weird because like Ahsoka is one of my favourite Star Wars characters, and I feel like she wasn't as interesting here as she was in Clone Wars and Rebels. However, I still feel like they did a decent job with her. And again, it introduces us some pretty interesting characters like Baylan Skoll, who's not really evil, nor is he good. He's just like a Jedi that uses the dark side. So this is Apprentice, and it's kind of like a prequel to, not really a prequel, it's kind of like a sequel to Rebels. It kind of like, the events kind of link up after Rebels, and it's also a sequel to kind of like Mandalorian as well. And we get returned most of our characters like, you know, Sabine, Ezra, Chopper, yeah. Again, one of my main problems is it feels like Disney kind of owns this series. I feel like I had a lot of opportunity, but they kind of missed the mark there a bit. It was so cool seeing Anakin return. That was probably my favourite episode. And I also like seeing my boy Grand Admiral Thrawn return, because I think Thrawn is a great villain, such an intimidating presence. and seeing him return was fun. I'm excited to see what they do with Thrawn in the future, because I believe Season 2 has been announced, so that's just that. 4th place is Star Wars Rebels, and yeah, Rebels is one that I feel like has like such highs, but also has a little bit of lows. Like it felt a little bit too kind of like too much like a kid show at times, and that's that. There were some horrible episodes, like some of those droid episodes, right? And that Iron Squadron episode. Oh my god, that gives me AIDS. But yeah. But I will say that there were some really good episodes, like the season 2 finale, amazing, and like those episodes in season 4. Oh my, they were actually really like there were some really good season 4 episodes there as well. Like the end ones, like where Kanan makes a sacrifice play. That was a good episode. I thought Kanan was quite an interesting character. I don't like love any of these characters. They're kind of like the Guardians of the Galaxy, you know, where they're kind of like broken people who've kind of lost stuff and they kind of had to find a family. Yeah, I can kind of respect that take there though. Still works better with the Guardians of the Galaxy, I think. So there's some good to it. I think very interesting characters. I think that we introduced Thrawn, Grand Admiral Thrawn, who's a very interesting villain. He has intimidating presence, and of course Maul. Darth Maul was of course as much of a menace here as he was before. Seeing him die was actually quite sad. Seeing Ahsoka return was cool. Seeing Darth Vader in here was absolutely sick. And another character that I think was actually a highlight in here was Hondo. Hondo, you know, he just made for such good comedy. Alright, that's just me that. 3rd place is Andor. And Andor's a bit of a weird one, right? Because like, it's kind of like more political Star Wars. And it's more kind of like, well, it has a different kind of feel to it that I can actually appreciate. Obviously the heroes don't really have much power, to be honest. Like, they're not like, you know, Force users. And it actually makes the Empire feel like a threat. The Empire in this series, they do feel very threatening, and it's just such a fun series. It's kind of slow paced. I feel like the pacing here is nice. Sure, there's some episodes that were better than others. Seeing my boy Andy Serkis in here as a better character, like of course, you know, Andy Serkis was in the sequels as Snoke, where he got kind of wasted. Then they bring him here, and they kind of redeem Andy Serkis' time in Star Wars. Another thing I really have to give Andor credit for is it didn't really feel like it was owned by Disney, which of course I have to give it to them. And also a cool character. It kind of like makes you look at Rogue One from a different point of view, and just the way they went about this film, which is good. I mean, not film, series is good, and I can honestly watch it again. I'd be quite happy to rewatch the series. It's just a bit of a banger. The characters here are pretty good and quite compelling. So yeah, Andor was a good series. Second here is and actually I have the Mandalorian. No, don't get me wrong. Season 3 was a bit of a disappointment, but season 1 and 2, they were good, right? I really like Mandalorian. I think Mandalorian. I think Pedro Pascal's a good actor. He does a great job with the Mandalorian here, and he's such a cool character that I honestly you can just respect. I also have to give it to Grogu. I mean, Baby Yoda. He's just cute, and I like him personally. But also some cool supporting characters like Greef Karga. What's that chick's name? I can't remember her name. Yeah. So it's just like the whole amount of Mandalore, like the whole arc of the Darksaber. We also got to see some familiar faces like that like Ahsoka in season 2. That finale where we got Boba Fett. Boba Fett was actually very cool in here, and also Luke Skywalker's appearance at the end. That was sick, bro. And I will say that Moff Gideon was a pretty good villain. He just has that kind of presence. He has that presence, you know. So Mandalorian, I think, is like a different kind of take on Star Wars, and it doesn't feel like, you know, typical Star Wars stuff, but it is quite enjoyable and it is a classic. And that theme slaps all the time. But number 1, I have to go with the Clone Wars. I don't even care what you will say. Clone Wars is number 1 in my books. Favorite TV series. I don't think that will ever change, really, to be honest. And there's just a lot of things that here are good. Sure, let's talk about the pacing, right? Season 1, meh. Season 2, getting better, but still meh. Season 3, we get into some really good stuff, especially since like the second half of season 3, where they give us some very compelling arcs, like, you know, the Savage Opress, the Night Sisters, the Mortis arc, the Citadel. You get some pretty good stuff here. Season 4 had the Water Wars, that arc where Obi-Wan goes undercover as a bounty hunter. When we get Darth Maul's return. Now season 5, we're having to get some top tier content, a lot more stuff. But the arc where Maul fights previous and takes over Mandalore, and Ahsoka's arc at the end was just so well done. And then in season 6, you have that clone conspiracy. They realize what Palpatine's up to, but one of them does at least. and Yoda's journey at the end of season 6. Season 7, the Siege of Mandalore is so good. But let's just slow down and talk about like my favorite things about this. It's like it comes in between episode 2 and 3, so Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, and it really makes the prequels, like, well, especially Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, just so much more interesting and just adds a lot of depth, fills in a lot of gaps that, just it makes a lot more sense, right? Anakin's character is even more interesting here. Obi-Wan has such memeable quotes. Two other characters I think were done very well. We were introduced to Ahsoka, and I think Ahsoka is such an interesting character. Bit annoying in the first few seasons, but by the time we get to season 5 at the end, she is top tier. And the Siege of Mandalore even better. And Darth Maul, it was a bit weird. That first you were like, is that a good idea bringing Darth Maul back? But then you decided that hell yeah, they really gave Darth Maul a lot of character development in here. It made him such a compelling character and a top tier character for sure. He has such an intimidating presence and has such good quotes. Revenge, I must have revenge. And General Grievous was also fine. I know people had problems with him, but I was fine with him myself. So yeah, Clone Wars is just an absolute banger, and I've already rewatched this 2 times. And I'd be happy to watch this whole series with anyone that hasn't watched before. They would like to watch it because it is a banger. And it's just such a good stuff. If I could make a whole video about this, I probably would. But I feel like I don't want to carry on too much. I mean, I might do a video about how good this show is one day or another. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.